everybody, and welcome back to Ross and Wizzy's FanFiction Power Hour. I am your host, Wizzy Puff, and with me, as always, is the other host, Ross Pitt.
Hello, everybody. I'm Ross Pitt. It's so good to have you here.
You know what I really like about September?
What is it?
I really like all of the fall vibes that are finally coming out. I just took a walk earlier into the forest, and I just noticed that the whole ground is like covered in orange leaves.
Wow, you lucky little shit. I just took a walk earlier, and it feels like summer. It looks like summer. It's summer, all right.
Even the trees aren't like falling yet?
Green as can be.
Dang. Man, I gotta figure out what kind of trees you got over there.
I live in a hellscape. They'll fall sometime around Thanksgiving.
What's your favorite month?
My favorite month is probably December, because that's the month we get rid of everything.
Not because of the, the cheer and the good family times.
Nope, not because of that at all. It's really the month where fall finally begins over here, you know?
That makes sense. So that's when you start carving the pumpkins?
No, we do that in January.
All these months, they always just feel like the time when you're closest to people, so it's always a little bit scary when things get lonely out here.
Yeah, all these months, they exist, but imagine if they didn't, which they don't, in space. Fix your segue, there you go.
Yeah, I told you I'm bad at segues, okay?
It wasn't that bad.
All right. Anyway, trying to get into today's fan fiction, tonight we're going to be reading It's Very Lonely Out Here by Dewdrops on the Grass.
Well, I can't wait. Did you know that this person has a fan fiction called Rainbow Dash Murders Her Friends?
Oh.
There's another one that she has called Murder She Tried. But you know what? Death depresses me. Let's not talk about death. I want to talk about cool space stuff instead.
Ooh, yeah, that's perfect for tonight's fic. It's Very Lonely Out Here, tagged sci-fi, wallflower blush, Equestria girls, tragedy.
And that's it.
And that's it. There's definitely no fifth tag.
Well, that tragedy is kind of sad, but I'll live with it, I guess. As we all will do. Because we don't want to think about death.
Yeah. We gotta keep that in the back of our head, where it's just chained up. Never comes to the forefront. But would you look at that? The cover art of this story was actually made by the author of the last fanfic we read, The Sleepless Beholder.
What a coincidence.
Man.
Nice.
Sleepless Beholder and Wallflower Blush, they kind of go hand in hand now. I don't know how we're going to do a fic with Wallflower Blush that doesn't have them involved somehow.
They find their way to weasel into every Wallflower Blush thing.
Think that we are finally finding one without them involved, and it's like, oh, epilogue written by the Sleepless Beholder.
At this point, I think that the Sleepless Beholder is Wallflower Blush. In which case, someone needs to keep an eye on them.
Sleepless Beholder, that kind of does sound like Wallflower Blush's kind of pseudonym.
Sounds too cool for her.
Aw, I was thinking it sounds dramatic. And I just picture her being, sort of artsy, I guess. Pretentious and artsy. Like, if she actually flourished with her true personality, she'd be one of those art types. Although I have no clue what she's actually like. I've never seen her in the show.
I don't think that she's particularly like that. I never got that vibe from her. I guess she is in the photo club at school. So there's that.
I think that's like the main thing that made me think that.
Possibly.
Reminds me of Life is Strange, where they had the whole photo club with the pretentious artsy kids in it.
Yeah. I mean, all those kids there are pretentious and artsy, so...
True. I think it was like an art school or something they were at. I can't remember. She's just like a little shy baby, just like all the theater kids are. Except when they're not being shy babies.
But for now, we should get to reading, shouldn't we, Wizzy?
Yes. Time to read. It's Very Lonely Out Here by dewdrops on the grass.
And if you want to avoid being that single dewdrop on the grass because I'm going to kill you and throw your body out into an open field, you better go down into the description and read this story for yourself, pals.
Thank you.
Or if you don't want it, fine. I'll put you in a place with a ton of other bodies so you can be less lonely. If you just give it a like, that's fine too. So, pick your poison.
Honestly, I'd rather become the dewdrop on the grass if I had to pick, like, one of them to literally be.
Yeah, I guess.
But I'm going to be reading this fanfic, you know? I guess I choose read this fanfic. Chapter 1. It's very lonely out here.
It's also the only chapter. A very lonely chapter.
1 is the loneliest chapter. Mission elapsed time... I don't know. These are numbers. These are so many numbers. 3,128, 19, 37, 25. Survivor's log, botanist, Wallflower Blush recording. Oh, so this is like Wallflower Blush who's talking here. Oh, boy.
Dang it. I didn't consider that you might be Wallflower Blush this time.
All right, I have to do the Wallflower Blush voice.
Getting...
You really like being Wallflower.
Oh, Wallflower is one of my favorite people to do.
All right, I'm going to have to do a Wallflower voice then. Survivor's log, botanist Wallflower Blush recording. I'm the only one left. I don't fully understand what happened. 1 minute, I was lost in the dreams of cryo-sleep, tending a garden of dusk lilies and phoenix blossoms. In the next, I was floating in 0G, surrounded by clouds of billowing steam. The harsh fabric of the safety restraints cutting into my skin through my jumpsuit. My lungs screamed for air as my chest spasmed. Horrible, gut-wrenching coughs forcing me to hurl liters of cryo-fluid gushing into the air in floating globules that the bio-waste collectors sucked out of the air with a disgusting schlorp. After vomiting what felt like my entire intestinal tract into the cabin, I collapsed against the restraints, barely conscious. My fingers numb, my hair spilling all around me. I'm not sure how long I spent laying there, till the monotone voice of the AI called out to me.
Dr. Blush, this unit's sensors show you are conscious. Please respond.
I thought you were going to do like a robot voice, but I like this one. This would be my ideal AI assistant.
I can't risk someone else not showing up, so I have to put David Bowie somewhere. It doesn't sound a whole lot like David Bowie, I'm sure, but you know.
I'm sure David Bowie would appreciate it.
Hello there, it's me, David Bowie.
Oh my god, David Bowie.
Yes, that's right. I appreciate it.
Whoa, back from the grave.
He just vanished.
Dang!
He truly is a star man.
Waiting in the sky.
What?
Oh. Yeah, nothing. I thought you were... Yeah, never mind.
All right.
Somehow, I managed to push myself up on the armrests of my cryopod chair into a proper sitting-up position, easing the pressure on my chest from the belts. Synth? I wheezed, my voice barely recognizable. Synth. Status report. What the hell's going on?
You are currently on board an escape pod, automatically ejected from the Manhattan at MET 3125092405 due to a Class 9 master alarm.
Class 9? Another coughing fit rolled through me, nearly causing me to smash my head against the bulkhead. What's a Class 9?
Complete structural integrity failure.
Despite the still warm air and the hum of the oxygen recyclers, my blood froze. What? I whispered. How? Why?
Unknown.
For the first time, I began to take in my surroundings. I was in a roughly cubic-shaped room about 3 meters by 3 meters. My cryopod took up most of one wall, now serving as my only real option for a chair. The opposite wall was lined with supply cabinets, mostly emergency rations and water, all made for easy consumption whether in 0G or not. along with the hot and cold water spigots, microwave oven, and utensil kit. The third wall contained a computer terminal and monitor next to an EVA suit. What is an EVA suit? EVA.
Enrichment Vehicle Assistant Suit.
I was thinking like environmental something, but I don't know. I think yours is right.
It is. I would know. I'm the inventor of them.
So who do you sell them to? Spacemen?
The rich.
Yeah, spacemen. The fourth wall bore more supply cabinets, some of which stocked emergency crash landing kits. In the event the escape pod somehow made it to a planetary surface with oxygen, as well as the cubby for the pod's zero-G toilet. More control panels lined the ceiling, along with the usual handholds for navigating the inside of the pod in zero-G, as well as one of the 2 airlocks for exiting the pod, the other being in the floor. Most curious was the empty slot on the opposite wall where another cryopod should have been. It felt like a tomb. "What do you mean, unknown?" I murmured, spluttering up a few last remnants of cryofluid. "Aren't there any records from the main computer?"
Negative. This AI unit is a limited backup iteration separate from the primary synth unit. No information was transferred prior to escape pod ejection.
Great. Just friggin' brilliant. Still feeling weak, but strong enough to at least begin moving around. I undid the restraints and floated up to the dorsal airlock window. Stars. All I could see were distant stars. "Stars, Twilight!"
Jigsaw! I knew Wellflower would get saved. I'm kidding, of course. Jigsaw could never.
Sadly. "Is anyone else out there?" I asked, feeling my chest tighten. "Any other survivors in range?"
Negative. No vessels in range of communication. Distress beacon transmitting.
Like anyone's gonna pick that up from null space. I pushed off the ladder and down to the monitor and terminal. "Is there anything in range that we can detect? Planets, moons, asteroids, something?"
Negative. The Manhattan was in null space transit until 15 seconds prior to ejection, according to onboard escape pod sensors at the time of activation.
"Then we're lost in interstellar space."
Affirmative.
Wonderful. I began to shiver. Was it getting colder? "What's the cabin temperature?"
Current cabin temperature, 19 degrees.
Oh, is that Celsius or Fahrenheit?
Both. You're fucked.
Yeah, it was definitely getting colder. This was ridiculous. I checked the Met readout, then double-checked it to make sure I was reading it correctly. Wait a minute. Why am I awake? I could have sworn the cryopod could have kept me under for at least another few months. It's only been a few days since the escape pod jettisoned.
A malfunction in the cryosleep process necessitated emergency discontinuation of cryosleep.
A malfunction? My teeth chattered. What kind of Tremors rippled through my body, along with muscle weakness, a pounding headache forming in my temples almost instantly. Cold, hideous, freezing cold enveloped my body. My mouth tasted like ashes, my tongue heavy. Gods. Cryosleep sickness. According to all the training I went through prior to accepting the mission on the Manhattan, cryosleep sickness kicked in a few minutes after an emergency wake-up. Usually it could be treated with medication. Stims. Stims. Where are the stims? I moaned as I floated around, my vision swimming as I tried to read the labels on the supply cabinets. Eventually, I located a medkit and pulled out an ampule for a jet injector, jamming it into my arm and pressing the activation button. It let out a hiss, matching the one escaping my lips as the medicine burned its way into my veins. My symptoms began to abate within moments. As it worked its magic, I chucked the injector back into the case and left it floating as I gripped my way over to the food stocks. I opened the first cabinet I found, with a ration tube of creamed spinach that I hooked into the hot water spigot, and a vacuum-sealed pouch of coffee. Probably not the best meal for waking up, but I'd be damned if I was going to go much longer without something caffeinated. Synth, I said after gulping some of the lukewarm, bitter liquid through the built-in straw. How much of our stock of consumables do we have aboard?
All escape pods are stocked with a 3-week food supply for 2 individuals, along with oxygen and water for the same period. Unfortunately, I ate most of it already.
Why would you do that? You're not even human!
Oh, frick. Forgot about that, mate.
Just like pushing it through the airlock and being like, yum yum. That was delicious.
This spaghetti sure is good. Belch.
So, 6 weeks with me by myself, huh? Lucky me. I swallowed some more coffee, then swished some around my mouth to wash out the rest of the bile taste. Why am I by myself?
You've just gotten progressive. Like, you always had a sort of a twinge of Southern, but you just got progressively more and more Southern.
I was trying to manage it, but it's like, it's difficult when it's not natural.
During the ejection, the pod sustained damage to its outer hull and the thrusters.
Wait, what? I set the pouch of coffee aside to float for a moment while I went over to the terminal and brought up the display, checking the readouts. We have a hull breach.
Negative. Emergency procedures prevented a hull breach by ejecting the cryopod containing Sunset Shimmer into space prior to thruster activation.
Not Sunset!
That's mean.
Man, that was Wallflower's girlfriend.
If she's lucky, which she's not.
Ooh! Another cold chill racked my body, though this one had nothing to do with cryosleep sickness. How did you determine who to eject?
Sensors showed asystolic EKG and flat EEG readings from Dr. Shimmer.
Equestria girls.
Wait, what?
EEG. Equestria girls.
And what is the EKG?
That's electrocardiogram.
Oh, okay.
I know this because I work as a fucking health insurance verifier.
So she was already dead, I whispered.
Affirmative.
I slammed a fist against the nearest handhold, a new pain welling up in my chest. Sunset Shimmer had been with me since high school. We'd gone to university together. Her for mechanical engineering, me for botany. We'd applied to the Harmony Settlement program together, in the hopes of making a new life on one of the colonies, and won a spot on the Manhattan. We shared a kiss before falling asleep in our cryopods for the ship's null-space transit. They actually were together. That's so sad.
No, Wizzy. It was just a platonic kiss.
This is just like after the end of Legend of Korra. Although, to be fair, that one was a little bit more vague, so give a little more credence to the doubters.
They should have made out.
Just imagining them immediately holding hands and then jumping and making out together before going into that portal.
Yeah.
We'd even been thinking of... It didn't matter. Not anymore. Synth, I whispered through my tears. Please calculate the odds of recovery. I waited for a response. Several long minutes passed. Synth? When the computer spoke again, its voice carried a hint of tension.
Unable to comply. Insufficient data.
Great. Doodly-doodly-doo.
I would have just killed myself right there.
Why?
'Cause it's hopeless.
It's not hopeless.
Just hopeless.
You don't know the odds of recovery.
Well, it's just an insufficient data amount of it, so...
I'm still holding out hope for Wallflower here.
Mission elapsed time 3142080924. Synth log. Primary objective: preserve life of Wallflower Blush. Consumables remaining 66.67%. 666.
No! This is not looking good for Wallflower.
Nope. Vital signs: temp 36.9, ECG 56 BPM, resp 13, SPO2 96.7%, IBP 85/58 mmHg, alert, blood pressure below acceptable range, inform crew member. Dr. Blush, your blood pressure is falling below acceptable parameters. Please address this immediately.
I'm tired.
Processing. Repeat address. Dr. Blush. Please take action. Acceptable actions include movement, exercise, medication.
I used up the last of the stims. We don't have any more.
Assessing supply status. Confirmed. No stimulants or alternative medication remaining. Movement and exercise are still possible actions.
God damn it, Synth. I told you I'm tired. Let me sleep.
Beginning detailed diagnosis. Keep crew member conscious while diagnosis takes place. Unable to comply. Preservation of your life is this unit's primary directive. Crew member is releasing restraints and moving to supply cabinet. Crew member is accessing food supplies.
Fine, I'll eat something. Not like I've got anything else to do.
Secondary objective: entertain crew member. Would you like to play a game?
Jigsaw? Not that jigsaw, but...
How about some hungry hippos?
Like what? I think we ran the whole gamut of what you've got already. Unless you've got something better than trivia, forget it.
Perhaps something visual on the monitor. This unit can simulate many different interactive programs.
No thanks, not interested.
Then perhaps a written or audio form of entertainment.
Forget it, Synth. I don't want it right now.
You haven't heard me read the entirety of The Princess Bride, though. Just wait, I'm an amazing voice actor. Secondary objective failed.
But I appreciate you trying.
You are welcome, Dr. Blush. Diagnosis complete. Crew member is suffering from complications related to cryosleep malfunction and subsequent cessation of cryosleep. Damage to internal organs, including lungs, liver, gallbladder, pancreas, kidneys. Alert, crew member in need of medical attention. Prognosis: death within 4 months if condition remains untreated.
Man, 4 months, that's gonna be a long while.
Mm-hmm. Can you just eject me right now?
Can you give me the sunset shimmer treatment?
Would really like to just not be here.
Determining probability of inflammation benefiting crew member. Results: less than 1% chance of benefit to crew member. Probable reaction: outrage, depression, decrease of physical health, reduction of lifespan. Primary objective: preserve the life of Dr. Wallflower Blush. Decision: do not inform crew member. She must live.
He cares.
Doodly doodly do.
Mission elapse time: 3156-175122. Survivor's log: Consumables remaining 33.3%. A month. A month. 4 goddamned weeks crammed into this stupid god's forsaken coffin, with no sign of anyone, no ships, no communications, no pickups of any kind, not even a floating rock. Just empty space. And damn, but it kept feeling so cold.
Damn, but it do feeling so cold.
It didn't matter how much I tried to move around. An escape pod wasn't exactly made for living in like this. It was meant for survival till rescue, or at worst, something you could use as a shelter while trying to survive. I'd trained for that very thing as part of the 3-year preparation for the Manhattan. None of it prepared me for being trapped in such a small space for so long. I was developing claustrophobia at this rate. So every once in a while, I hopped into the EV suit, climbed up the ladder, and with a tether firmly attached, let myself float out into space. The stars all around me, the only light from my lamp on my suit arm and the blinking of the airlock guide lights. All sound absent save for the echoing of my own breath and the crackle of my suit radio.
And the stars look very different today.
I knew you knew that song!
Of course I know Space Oddity.
No, I was assuming that you knew,
Who
but...
doesn't know Space Oddity? It's Starman you're thinking of.
No, wait, oh yeah, you're right. That was Starman earlier, I forgot. He made multiple space songs, dang.
He's a spaceman.
Makes sense. That's why they had the parody of him in Steven Universe. It was magical. Just me and the stars.
You have 1 hour of oxygen remaining in your suit tanks.
And Synth, of course. I'd have gone mad without Synth around. Synth, I asked. Not for the first time this past month. You're full AI, right?
Affirmative.
Ever so gently, I began to use the grips on the outside of the pod to climb down, to make my usual examination of the port RCS quad. I'd check the pod's RCS on every EVA, like a ritual, just in case I'd find a different result. Of course, every result was the same. The nozzles crumpled, fuel exhausted. Not like there was anything I could have done about it anyway, but it was something to do, and I was sorely lacking in that. What do these things stand for? Are we going to get a list at the end of this that tells us what each acronym stood for?
Well, I told you what the EVA stands for, but the RCS stands for Recreationals. Recreationals.
Oh, okay. I thought it was Royal Canadian Snacks.
No. That's RCSN, idiot.
Royal Canadian Snacking Mounties?
No. That's RCSNM. I said RCSN.
Oh. Why N?
They had to figure out some way to make it a different acronym.
I wish I had some plants around. Just a seedling, a friggin' dandelion in a pot, something. Well, you know that means you don't have to talk the way you do, right?
Affirmative. However, this unit is programmed to speak in this manner, as it is determined to be the best method for reassuring crew with a logical presence.
It's why they chose David Bowie as the voice. Every time before I'd brought this up before. That was a little bit redundant. I'd left it at that. Synth wanted to act like a machine. I'd let Synth act like a machine. I reached the underside of the pod and shined my light on the engine. Nothing. Still a scrunched up mess. Screw it. Do you think you could talk differently? For me? There was no response. Synth.
If you wish it, Dr. Blush, I can talk like this. Is it acceptable?
I'd never heard Synth use a pronoun before. Woke! Always this unit. I swore there was a bit more warmth to the voice, too. Less of the artificial undertone. Not human. Definitely not human. but less of a machine. Yeah, that's a lot better, Synth. Makes me feel better.
I'm glad to hear that, Dr. Blush.
Reaching for the grip, I ascended one rung before pausing. Can you call me Wallflower, please?
As you wish, Wallflower.
Maybe a month wasn't so bad after all.
Wallflower,
Yeah?
could you call me Synth, please?
You got it. I'm confused. Was she actually calling him Synth before?
Yeah, that's so inefficient. Now, since we were always calling him Synth, it's Synth now. Thank you.
Okay. And now you're going to have to do that voice for a whole log.
I'm going to die.
Doodly doodly doo.
Mission elapsed time 3163062210. Synth log. Consumables remaining 16.7%. Vital signs temp 38.5. ECG 90 ppm. Resp 21. SP02 93.7%.
I'm not going to do that anymore.
Oh boy.
When he's talking, it'll be that. But when it's just this, it'll be fucking David Bowie still.
Yeah, it makes sense because it's inside of Synth's head, you know?
Yeah. SP02 93.7%. IBP 98/59 mmHg. Alert temperature high. Alert blood pressure low. Alert respiration high. Alert ECG high. Alert SP02 low. Diagnostic complete. Crew member continuing to suffer from rapid onset organ failure with secondary symptoms including fever. Estimated lifespan remaining 3 weeks. Probability of survival unacceptably low. She must live.
Wallflower, how are you feeling?
Like shit, Synth. You know that. Can't you turn up the heat in here?
Adjusting cabin temperature by 2 degrees. Cabin temperature now 27 degrees.
Better.
Yeah, a little bit, at least. Thanks, Synth.
You're welcome, Wallflower.
Wildflower is using a survival blanket, wrapping it around herself. She is shivering despite the increase in cabin temperature. Fever is causing additional stress. Inventorying supplies. Acetaminophen discovered.
Wallflower, you should take some acetaminophen. It'll help bring your fever down.
Just take that one line out of context, and this is just so funny, random sounding. Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
She gets up slowly, reaches for cabinet, removes pills, uses water to take them. Her hands keep trembling unsteady, unable to assist. Wish I could.
Hey, Synth, I've been wondering about something.
Yes.
AIs are based on people, right? They need a brain scan to form their net, I think. Which means you were based on someone, yeah?
2 people, actually. David Bowie and Sauron.
Yes, I was.
Wildflower looks at the monitor. Wildflower does this often when conversing, likely seeing the monitor as akin to my face.
Can you tell me who?
Processing.
Synth?
Processing. Switch on monitor, show a face with pale grey skin and shoulder-length purple hair. Face has neutral expression.
I am based on her. Dr. Modelina Daisy Pay, A geologist.
So
Maud Pie?
Seath doesn't talk like that because they're a robot. They talk like that because they're based off of Maud.
Oh. It's like, oh yeah, I would have a lot more personality if I was based off someone else. This is just like how Maud acts.
That would explain things.
Oh, I actually really do like the pairing of Maud and Wallflower.
Yeah, it's not bad. Maud would definitely not take shit from Wallflower.
A geologist. She is 2 centuries deceased.
Huh. Too bad. Looks like someone I knew back in high school. Must have been her descendant.
It is quite likely. Dr. Pye had several children with her husband, Mudbriar.
What was she like?
Processing.
Seath, come on, you can tell me. I won't judge.
She was stoic. She rarely showed emotion and almost never smiled. But she cared deeply for her family, people who mattered to her. She would go to the ends of eternity to protect and keep safe.
Huh. Sounds like someone I wish I could have known.
Processing.
At least now I know why you're always such a stick in the mud, Seath.
Wildflower chuckles. Response required.
Ha ha.
That was an amazing laugh.
Thank you.
Wildflower breaks into laughter. Her chest spasms, and she shivers and breaks into a coughing fit.
Wallflower.
Damn it, that heart. Worth it, though. Never thought I'd hear you laugh.
Wildflower yawns, curls up in cryo-sleep chair.
I'm going to get some sleep. Night, Seath.
Wildflower pats the metal bulkhead. Likelihood of embrace attempt on synth. High.
Ooh, I'm shipping them.
Wish I could do the same.
Good night, Wallflower.
Diddly diddly do.
Mission elapsed time 3170 012215. Survivor's log. Consumables remaining 1%. I ran out of water last night, or was it this morning? I don't even know anymore. So cold. Too damned cold. Seath.
Yes, Wallflower.
I can't stop shaking anymore. It's constant. My body's barely hanging on. Turn up the heat, please.
I'll try.
Seath's so nice. I can hear the fans whirring. A bit of warmer air. Not enough. So thirsty.
Dude, Sam, that fucking voice has killed me.
You sure there's no water anymore, Seath?
I'm sorry, Wallflower. There isn't. I've recycled everything I can.
Damn. I wish Sunset was here. I miss Sunset. Her smile. The way it lit up a room. Her smell of her shampoo. The way she'd hold my hand. How strong she was when she held me. I miss her so much.
God, now you're making me miss Sunset.
I miss her so much. Tears. Crying's not good. Wastes water. Stop crying, Wallflower. I wish she was here.
Who?
An ugly rage burned through me as I smashed my fist down on the armrest of my cryo-sleep chair. Her! I wish she was here, damn it! I wish she was here. I never wanted to die alone.
I'm sorry.
Doodly doodly doo.
Mission elapsed time 3170042215. Synth's log. Consumables remaining 0.8%. Vital signs temp 38.9, ECG 77 BPM, resp 27, SP02 88.4%, IBP 80/50 mmHg. Have not been keeping track of any of the numbers. That's all the same to me.
Well, the body temperature is significantly higher. That's the only thing I noticed.
I guess.
Alert. Temperature high. Alert. Cease alerts. Continue vital signs monitoring. Unable to assist. Probability of survival of wallflower blush 0%. Wallflower is barely moving. Murmurs to self. Repeats same word over and over. Sunset. New secondary objective. Comfort. Wallflower blush. New decision. Deception. Alert sound playing. Wallflower blush stirs.
What was that?
Voice thready. Wake barely audible.
The distress call has been answered. We have received an automatic response stating a ship will arrive shortly to retrieve you. Please hold on, Wallflower. Help is almost here.
A smile. Her face brightens up.
Really? You mean it?
Of course. They will be here soon.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
This did not go as planned. Oh shit. I don't even know why I did that.
Gotta make her happy somehow. Let's lie to her.
Wallflower turns over in a chair. Her respiration increases. Maybe I should just fucking open the airlock.
Let's tell her it's her birthday as well. That'll make her happy.
Oh no. Diddly diddly do.
Mission elapsed time 3170-043829. Survivor's log. Consumables remaining 0.6%. They're coming. Just a little longer. Just hold out a little longer, right? Right? But I have to see. I have to see. I released the restraints on my cryo-sleep chair and propelled myself up to the airlock.
Wallflower, please sit back down at once.
Shut up, I murmured, smacking my lips together. Damn, my throat was so dry. Why was she speaking? Head hurts. I want to see.
You need to conserve energy, Wallflower. The less you move around, the better.
I looked out the window, my head turning like a swivel. Where were they? I don't see them. I don't see them. Where? Hurry up! Hurry up! Down to the other airlock. Still nothing. Just stars.
Wallflower, please sit back down for me.
Synth's so nice. Maybe she's right. Maybe I should sit back down. Vision's swimming. Cold. But I take one more look out anyway, just in case. Doodly doodly doo.
Mission elapsed time 3170 509 27 27. Synths log. Consumables remaining 0.001%. Vital signs temp 38.9, ECG 105 BPM, resp 33, SP02 84.1%, IBP 78/49 HG.
Synth, I don't know if I'm gonna make it.
You must, Wallflower. Please.
My voice shakes.
Just a little longer.
A weak laugh.
It's okay. I don't blame you.
Wallflower,
You did everything you could.
No, please, Wildflower, Wildflower.
I'm sorry for what I said before. I was never alone out here.
She slumps again.
Nope. She slumps against the restraints.
Wildflower.
Vital signs. Temp 35. ECG 0 BPM. RESP 0. SP02 0%. IBP 0/0 mmHg. Cease vital sign monitoring. Primary objective failed. Diddly diddly do. Mission elapsed time 31:72, 21:15:39. Scene slog. I did everything I could for her. Cabin temperature -50. Lowering the temperature only does so much. Probability of preservation low. She deserves better. Cabin temperature -60. She deserves better. Cabin temperature -70. I won't let her rot away. I won't disrespect her like that. Even if I couldn't save her, I can still give her the proper burial she deserves. Cabin temperature -90. Only one way. Cannot move body. No operational drones. Must use cabin pressure. Remote restraint deactivation performed. Restraints released. Body adrift. Waiting for body to move into place. Body in place. Opening airlock. Overriding safeties. Explosive decompression blows body out into space. I watch her go. I'm sorry, Wallflower. I'll miss you. Diddly diddly do. Mission elapsed time 3179 21:15:39. Scene slog. It's very lonely out here.
Author's note. Huge thanks to the Sleepless Beholder for this amazing idea he crafted. Oh, of course, this was crafted by the Sleepless Beholder. For this amazing idea he crafted, but was never quite able to capitalize on. Thanks as well to him, Acklin Star, and the Otter Guy for pre-reading, and Sleepless again for the cover art. The end. That was It's Very Lonely Out Here by Dewdrops on the Grass. That has to be one of the most depressing ones we've read in a while.
Yeah, wow. That was a bummer.
The body degrading like that just reminds me of Grave of the Fireflies. Just slowly sadder and sadder.
Don't remind me. Oh man. Yeah, yeah, that was sad.
Oh, hey, it was Tag Death.
How did you miss that?
My bad.
How did I miss that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Wizzy can't read in red. No, wait. The text is white. Yeah, how did you miss that?
Well, the red around it kind of disguised it, so it all just looks like a white blur in the middle of a red splotch. Which I recognize as the death tag, but I just missed that this time, you know?
Okay. Very sad.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that the Sleepless Beholder came up with this idea to torture his girl.
I haven't actually read a one that's this sci-fi yet, I don't think. Closest that we get is like the GLaDOS one.
I think the last, we specifically did The Last Daughter of Krypton because we wanted to do a sci-fi one. That one was barely sci-fi.
Yeah.
But this was sci-fi. very much so. And it was sad sci-fi. Sad-fi, if you will. I guess that would just be sad fiction, but...
Cry-fi. So, do you think anyone's gonna find synth?
I think you mean synth? And no.
Synth, yes.
Synth will just float out in space until he dies. She dies. Forgot that Synth was actually given pronouns. And my immediate thought when going to AI is male pronouns, because HAL 9000. But yeah, she's just gonna float in space.
Aren't most AIs today like female coded, kind of?
I guess.
Like, I think of like Siri type voices mainly.
Well, that's not what I think. I don't use AI. I'm a good person.
Oh yeah? Well then what am I?
Do you use AI?
No. But you did to create me! That's right, I'm not a real host.
Damn it.
I finally learned morality, and I can't keep up this lie.
Thank God this episode is too long for anybody to actually get to this part.
My goodness, this has been a long one.
Yeah, a little bit. Anyways, yeah, Synth will just die and then crash land into the sun or something.
Oh, so Celestia's gonna catch him? Her?
It's the Quester Girls universe. Not happening.
Okay, I don't know if Principal Celestia has any power of the sun. I mean, they have the magic gems for the others. I'm sure that there's something Principal Celestia gets.
Principal Celestia was shocked by a talking horse, who was a human at the time.
Well, that makes sense. I'm sure the ponies would be shocked by a talking human.
No?
You sure? Twilight wasn't, like, freaked out when she went into the human world for the first time?
She freaked out at her own body. And when she saw another human, she's like, neat, or something. And Spike took it pretty chill.
Really? He got turned into a dog.
Yeah.
He really kind of got the short end of that deal.
Kind of, a little bit.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. But that's all we have in store for this episode. Thank you very much for joining us. And good night.
Good night, everybody.
See ya!
Please send help.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the... What is this show called? To Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour. Is it the Ross and Wizzy Fanfiction Power Hour?
I mean, I can change the name anytime. It's just going to reveal something huge.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What does it mean?
Oh. I think we should change the name.
Oh, and what do you think we should change it to?
Ross and Wizzy's Bickering Power Hour?
Just get rid of the fanfiction part?
Yeah. It's like we always talk.
Okay, we could try
we
that.
keep saying we're going to read a fanfic, but then it just ends up with us like arguing over stuff, like who's going to be what character until time's up. Oh, it is Ross and Wizzy's. Okay. I could not remember if it was the Ross and Wizzy or if it was Ross and Wizzy's.
Oh, you were actually asking a question. Yeah, it's Ross and Wizzy's Fanfiction Power Hour.
I had to go to the YouTube and look at my subscriptions because I'm subscribed. I'm a real fan.
Good job. I appreciate it, man.